so I feel like you all know how this goes by now, but in case you don't, this is the one video where I talk to you about all the books that I have read in this passing month that was May. I don't know where this year is going. It's kind of terrifying, but also great. So I thought I didn't do that much reading because I had my exams. Turns out I did read more than enough. I will start off by saying that I finished The Devouring Grey, which I mentioned in my last month's wrap up, and that's beautiful, all-time favorite. Love it so much. Yes, honorable mention if you will. But otherwise, I will start off by talking to you about the books that I don't have physical copies of at the moment. I'll just get the most boring random one out of the way first, and that's Just Looking Thanks. That's a random book that I've had to read for work, and I also watched the documentary, if you will, that comes with it, and it's so cringy. It is beautiful, and it's all about, customer service. You don't care, but in case you do, it does kind of, work, so do with that what you will. I also listened to the audiobook of Little Monsters by Kara Thomas, and that's a YA crime mystery type novel that my sister has been raving about. She said the audiobook is particularly great, so thought I would give it a shot, and I'm very happy that I did. It pretty much starts off by setting up this story about a girl whose best friend goes missing, and no one knows what happened, and they're trying to piece it together. But the further the story develops, the more you find out, and the less you really know. You're starting to question everything, and the ending, it just took me by surprise, which rarely happens. So I was, honest to God, screaming. That's how good it was. So if you're into that kind of book, I highly do recommend this. I also read There's Something About Sweetie by Sonia Menon, and it's so soft, it's so wholesome. If you're into YA contemporary romance, lighthearted books with a bit of a deeper core, you would highly enjoy this. If you don't know, Sonia's debut, When Dimple Met Rishi, is one of my all-time favorite books. So I was a bit wary going into this because I knew it was kind of a companion to that, but I also had really high expectations because I love her writing, I love her characters, I love the way she establishes romances, and also I was very excited to read a book about a fat main character who's just unashamedly herself. I thought that was beautiful. So I was not let down. I do have to say, I think it kind of came across as if Sweetie's being fat was only valid because she was also an athlete. So I didn't quite love that, but everything else, beautiful. It was just so soft and lighthearted, and the two love interests actually communicate. And the story pretty much follows Rishi's brother from When Dimple Met Rishi after his breakup from a certain someone. And he has decided he's willing to let his parents set him up for a relationship like they did his brother, successfully so, except the girl's mother doesn't want them dating because she is not comfortable with her fat daughter dating a really conventionally handsome young man, I guess. And it all starts from Sweetie not wanting to put up with that bullshit because she's fabulous and loves herself. So very promising start. It is just, it's really good. I would recommend it. And then I read Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I still don't know how to say her name. I actually have a reading vlog where I'm reading this. I'll link that down below. I read it for the MYTHTAKE Reads read along. I'll link information about that down below as well. And this is pretty much a retelling of The Six Swans, or The Children of Lear, however you'd like to take it. So it tells our protagonist Sorka, whose brothers get turned into swans, and it's up to her to save them, and there's an evil stepmother, and it's got a very lush, vivid Irish setting, and it's got some of the most well-crafted, endearing characters I've encountered in a while, and it's got a really interesting magic system. It's kind of like nature magic, all of that. Its depiction of the fair folk is really interesting. The romance, bit iffy. Also, huge trigger warning for rape, but I think it's one of those stories that does very much feel like a fairy tale, and you can see the mythological inspiration but also the new life being given to the story. So it's just so good. I think it has a lot of unique elements and it never goes the way I would expect it to, and also the main character doesn't actually speak out loud throughout most of the book, which was just such an interesting different thing to see portrayed. And so yeah, I cannot speak highly enough, and it's all about how small gestures affect the bigger picture. Is just so good. For another book club, a real life one this time, I read Sarah Crossan's Toffee. This was also our teen book of the month at work, so I was really curious, and one of my coworkers adores Sarah Crossan, so I thought it would be only natural for me to read this, especially since they got a copy signed for me, which was very nice because I was crying because of exams. So this book pretty much follows our protagonist Allison as she has run away from her abusive father, trying to follow her sort of stepmother, I suppose, except she ends up alone in this place. She's hiding in a shed to what she assumes is an abandoned house, except it's not abandoned because this old woman with dementia, Marla, lives there, and she thinks Allison is her sister, Toffee, that she hasn't seen since they were like Allison's age. And it's gut-wrenching, but it's also heartwarming. It's also really hard to digest because the way Allison goes back and talks about the father's abuse is just, it hurts me, it pains me, and I want to protect her. But it's also, I think, explored in a really respectful way, and you're given the necessary time to process all of it. I think that's what I liked with Daughter of the Forest as well. Trauma is explained, it's not brushed aside, it's not romanticized. Yeah, I kind of want to say I would not be mad if Sarah Crossan wanted to write a companion that's all about Marla as a youth, because she just sounds like a really good time. So do with that what you will. Oh, this one actually literally finished an hour ago, and it is Becoming Dinah by Kit Dwell. This is a YA coming-of-age contemporary story that is also a retelling on land of Moby Dick, which, if that's not the most bonkers, ridiculous, exciting thing you've ever heard, I don't know what is. But yes, I was very excited to read this, reading what it was about, and so I haven't really been in a contemporary mood, but I'm meeting the author later today, so I thought it would be nice to have read their book. And this pretty much follows a girl who's trying to run away from her life, except her neighbor, Ahab, missing a leg, has lost his prosthetic leg in this van that he was fixing that got stolen, but he knows who stole it and where they're going. So they go on this other camper van following the van with the foot. So it's ridiculous, but it's also really thoughtful. It's really unique. I think, it's just the way it explores identity and growing up and all of those things, but also adds these really random references to Moby Dick, and you can see how the story you never would have seen in this shape could be seen in this shape. It's just so unique and so smart, and I really love it. And it also follows a queer biracial girl, so, and I'm pretty sure the author is biracial herself, so it is own voice is beautiful. I also read Mirage by Smydod, and this is North African inspired fantasy. No, it's not fantasy, it's sci-fi. See, that's why I didn't know why I was getting into, because I thought it was fantasy, so started and it's sci-fi, and I'm like, okay, I will say this is a really promising first novel in a series. It's not up there for me quite yet. I think partly because I felt like the world wasn't fully explored, so the author could have done more in that, but the cultural references and inspirations she puts from real life into the story really do set up like the foundation for a wonderful world. I think it could have possibly worked better as a fantasy, I don't know. So this follows a girl who's taken away from her home planet and from her family because turns out she looks just like the princess of these want to say colonizing alien people, which not quite accurate, but accurate enough, you know. So she is taken to become the body double of the princess and do all the things she doesn't want to, basically. And I didn't know what to think as I was starting reading this, but the more I read, the more I got enthralled into the story. And I fell for the characters, and the way the relationships develop between characters you wouldn't have expected, and the new dimensions that the author creates to the characters was beautiful. I think what did this book a disservice was that it was really short, and also you get thrown into the action and the plot really quickly. So had this been longer and been allowed more time to develop, I think I would have enjoyed it even more. But I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward to the sequel, because this was just such a solid first book. And the last proper book before we get on to graphic novels, The Furies by Katie Lau. So one of my coworkers really enjoyed this. I heard it was witchy. I'd been seeing it on Twitter, and also the lady from HarperCollins that I know really loved this. So I had to give it a shot. It's pretty much dark academia meets witches, which I'm sold. And it's really interesting in the sense of it's one of the most unique takes on quote-unquote witchcraft, because you never know if it's real or not, that I've seen, because it takes inspiration, as the title would suggest, from the classics and, you know, Greek myth and stuff, and it's pretty much a thriller as well. Who is she? It starts with the news of a girl that was found dead on a swing, and you know our main character knows what happened, so you go back and you see what led up to that. And also it's really weird because the main character is narrating everything as an adult looking back, but you never really see her as an adult or all that much. You just get hints about what her life as an adult is like. So it's really strange, but it's really interesting, and I think it feels like one of those books that's great if you want to make the shift from YA to adult. I don't know, it has a mix of elements from both that I can see, and this wasn't exactly everything I would have liked it to be, but again, it is a debut novel, so I'd be really interested to see anything else that the author comes up with in the future. And then graphic novels, I read Amira, Tiebreaker by Danielle Page. Didn't really like this too much. I thought the artwork was glorious, beautiful, stunning, everything, but the characters just feel like caricatures. It's like, how do you write a teen? I know, make them misunderstood, and also really like ready to fall in love with a nice boy that she didn't think would be nice, you know? It's like, not really, no. I don't know. I feel, again, this could have been possibly better had it been longer, but being what it was, not exactly my cup of tea, but yeah. And finally, Secret Avengers Volume 1. This follows, you guessed it, a secret, undercover, covert group of superheroes, anti-heroes, whatever you would like to call them, that try to save the world, except the missions they're sent on are so secret, even they have them erased from their memories. And I mostly just got this because it had Black Widow in it, and I will say no more. So this has been everything that I have read in the month of May. Please do let me know what you have read. If you've read any of these, what you thought of them, and let me know what book you think I should really read in June. I was like, oh, what month is coming up next? Yes, June it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.